But how did we miss Josh Allen? He wasn't a big-time recruit in high school.
Right.
He wasn't, a big-time player at Wyoming. I mean, he was a curiosity there.
Yeah.
When he lost his talent, he didn't really have a good final year there. But you still had teams that were kind of fawning all over him.
Yeah.
His first year, he didn't look good. What was your review of Josh Allen coming into the NFL?
Well, you know my review of him. We discussed this a little bit. I thought he was the number one quarterback in the draft.
I'm letting you take a victory.
No, I know. No, I know. I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I know.
I'm John Stockton. You can be Karl Malone. I'm just giving you a bounce pass. Just make
boom,
the layup.
I'll hit that 12-footer all day long.
All
boom, right there. Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, I love Josh Allen coming out. You know, as we have discussed so many times in our history and being together, we look at wins and stats a little too much and lose the context of the situation a little bit. And that's, to me, what happened with Josh Allen a little. One, the talent jumped off the screen. The ability to run and do all that, the ability to throw the ball really wherever he wants. There was all this talk about accuracy, and I kept going, I don't really see an accuracy problem. I see a guy that sometimes thinks he can fit the ball into every window in the history of the world, right? But there were so many plays where I'd go, oh, yeah, that was incomplete, but damn, he fit it in between those three guys and put it right where he wanted to. And it bounced off the receiver's head, or, there was just too much traffic in there and he just dropped the ball, let alone he was playing up in Wyoming where there was crazy weather conditions. Mm-hmm. And then I also got into the fact of, like, the completion percentage. I went, man, did they ever give the guy an easy throw or do anything? And I compared him to that year with Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, who threw like an average of like 7 or 8 screens a game. And I went, well, if he threw 7 or 8 screens a game, his completion percentage would have been up around 67, 68%, and maybe that wouldn't have been a question, let alone to your point, Dan. The support system around him was crappy. It didn't present itself. And then I think they kind of gave him a green light a little bit to, like, hey, do whatever you want because we can't win unless you make magic happen. Yeah. And that kind of led into some bad habits as well. So that's what I saw. But yeah, like it came out again this week a little bit. I know that the Seattle Seahawks wanted to trade Russell Wilson to the Cleveland Browns because they wanted to take Josh Allen with the number 1 pick the year that the Cleveland Browns took Baker Mayfield. And then, Josh Allen, extremely smart guy too. That's the one thing I think gets a little lost in translation because we see a great talent and we just go, oh, he's talented. But anybody you talk to, his testing before the draft was off the charts and all that stuff. And, of course, he's picking up offenses left and right here in the NFL. And he's almost a combination of Herbert and Mahomes in a way, Dan, to get back to that original question. Like, maybe not as good as the sidearm stuff as Mahomes, but just a little below. Maybe not as good as the machine like Herbert in the pocket, but just a little below. And then his ability to run, power football and scramble. I mean, come on. Have we ever seen a quarterback stiff arm a safety in the NFL and throw him on the ground and get a first down? I mean, that was insane stuff what we saw, in the opener.
But I wonder if you go back and revisionist history, if you said Seattle was going to trade Russell Wilson to Cleveland in his prime for the Wyoming quarterback, they would have gotten roughed up. Now, we look back now, and it's revisionist history.
Right.
I mean, it's good that Josh Allen didn't go to Seattle. The way Pete Carroll wants to win, he wouldn't have been taking advantage of all the attributes that Josh Allen has. But looking back, Seattle made the right move, I think, keeping Russ, because Josh Allen was an unknown. You can look at all the talent.
Sure.
Like Jadeveon Clowney. Remember his pro day? I had people at the mothership frothing, slobbering all over it. I've never seen something like this. And I went, okay, he had one great play in college, and that was the bowl game against Michigan. Slow down. He doesn't have any lower body strength. I mean, you had guys who played the game, who were like Teddy Bruschi. They're like, I haven't seen anything like this before. We get caught up in this.
We do.
I mean, he's had a nice career, but it's just, I think we always want to be the first to say, we got to beat everybody to the punch. I saw him before. It's like you have a favorite band. I saw U2 when they played in front of 22 people. I saw Dave Matthews at a frat party, So,
yes.
I don't know what
I know. I think your point is there. I get what your point is. I don't know either. You're right. The fact that he got to Buffalo And McDermott, this is where I think it is amazing. And I talked about this with Josh Allen in my long interview a little bit before the season on my podcast and stuff. Because that's one of the, we don't see defensive coaches a whole lot just go, hey, offensive quarterback, do whatever the hell you want, and we're just going to go with you.
Yeah.
And that was special. And you're right. I don't know if Pete Carroll would have ever done that. I do think that the Seattle Seahawks and Pete Carroll for a while were looking to replicate what they did originally with Russell Wilson. Get a quarterback on a rookie contract, right? And let's build the team around it, because I'm not all about the quarterback in Seattle here, and let's try to do it that way. But it's hard to do that, to your point, when you go, whoa, Russell, he's damn good, and he's so clutch, and he helped us win a lot of games after the Legion of Boom fell off because he was so good. So I hear you there. That's a tough one, and I don't know if it would be the same Josh Allen if he was up there in Seattle.